first of all, appropriate age gaps. When you're a teenager, the appropriate age gap is 1 to 2 years max. Okay? 1 to 2 years max. All right? If you are 14, you can date a 15-year-old, you can date a 13-year-old, you can date a 16-year-old, maybe. It depends though. There's caveats there, okay? There's caveats. Because a 13-year-old can date a 15-year-old, but a 13-year-old in 8th grade should not be dating no 15-year-old who's a sophomore. Okay? But a 13-year-old who's a freshman, okay, if you want to date a 15-year-old who's a junior, okay, that's fine. But you see, there's caveats here, guys. It's not just straightforward. There's levels to this shit. But in general, I would say a 1 to 2 year age gap if you're a teenager, max. And you have to take into account where you are in terms of your schooling. Are we talking about someone in middle school trying to get with someone in high school? Are we talking about someone in high school trying to be with a college person? Okay. When you get to your early 20s, okay, you can go 3 years up, max, and 2 years down, max. That's it. If you are in your early 20s, that is it. If you are a 21-year-old, you can date a 19-year-old. You can date a 20-year-old. You can date a 22-year-old. You can date a 23-year-old. You can date a 24-year-old. And that's it. Okay? No 25-year-old should be checking for no 21-year-old. Okay? No 26-year-old, no 27-year-old should be checking for no 21-year-old. You're weird if you do that. Just so you know, you're a freaking weirdo. For the rest of your 20s, from like 23 through 29, give or take, you can go up 4 and down 3. Okay? You can go up 4 and down 3. All right? If you're 25, you can be dating like I said, you can be dating a 22-year-old. 21, it's getting a little weird. I'm looking at you a little side-eyed. But you can also date a 29-year-old if you want. Okay? When you hit 30, your early 30s, 30 to 34, you can now go up 10 years. You can date someone maximum 10 years older than you. But you can only go down 4 years in your early 30s, all right? Nobody in their early 30s should be dating somebody in their early 20s. That's weird. It's weird, okay? When you hit 35 and above, you can go up 10 years. You can go down to anybody in your 30s. I think if you're in your 30s, you can date anybody in your 30s. If I'm 31, I can date a 39-year-old. If I'm 30, I can date a 38-year-old. If I'm 39, anybody in your 30s, y'all, you can mix and mingle, no problem. But going less than 30, watch out now. You got to be in your early 30s to do that, okay? When you hit your 40s, you can go down a decade max. Nobody in their 40s should be dating any 20-something-year-olds. Period. Period, point blank. Nobody should be dating any 20-something-year-olds, okay? And when you're in your 40s, you can go up 10 years. You can date somebody up to 10 years older. I'll let you push it to 15. Really, I'd say like 13, honestly. Okay? Because a 40-year-old should not be with anybody over like 52. That's weird. A 52-year-old is like, oh, my girlfriend is 40. Okay. That's weird. Why are you dating? Well, okay. So when you hit your 50s, you can go down 10 years, no more than 10. No 50-year-old should be dating somebody in their 30s. I'm sorry. You shouldn't. And after 50, you can go up as high as you want. You want to date a 60-year-old, you want to date a 70-year-old, you want to date an 89-year-old. That's your business, Bookie. Do your thug thizzle. I don't give a damn. Okay? Those are the appropriate age gaps. 1 to 2 years in your teens, 2 to 3 years in your 20s, 3 to 4 years in your 30s, plus, a decade in your decade or more in your 30s. Like, those are the real proper age gaps. Outside of that, it's weird. It's weird. As a teenager, if I had a teenage child at 17 bring a 13-year-old home and say, this is my girlfriend or my boyfriend, I would be like, what is wrong with you? I would be like, do I need to take you to therapy tomorrow? And if I had a 13-year-old child come home with a 17-year-old boyfriend, girlfriend, I would be like, baby, not on my watch. Not on my watch. And I'm going to be side-eyeing all of you adults who are with these super younger people. I'm going to be side-eyeing all of y'all. Now, let's be clear. There is a little bit of give and take. This is not a science. It's an art. Again, you know, a 13-year-old in 8th grade is different than a 13-year-old in 9th grade, right? There's a difference, okay? A 21-year-old meeting a 20-year-old at work as opposed to, you know, a 23-year-old who's working meeting a 21-year-old in college. That's the difference, right? There's no reason for someone who's working to be interested in a college student. All right? There's levels to this, but there are some give and take. There is some give and take. You know, this is not a science. And, you know, it does apply. And I do believe that there are exceptions. There are legitimate May-December relationships out there. I do agree that there are exceptions, but we need to stop normalizing this idea that once you're 18, then you are fresh meat. Anybody, you are on the market as long as they're 18. That was a comment that I got so much from so many men in these comments. As long as they're 18, sir, you are 48 and balding. I promise you, no 18-year-old is checking for you. Okay? I promise you that. So I think it's important for us to really push back on this idea that it's totally normal for these older people to be seeking out these young ass people. And as long as they are legally an adult, mind you, who determines the age of consent? Men? The patriarchy? Who made those laws? We didn't make those laws. Women weren't at the table when those age of consent laws were created. Men were the ones that created them. So to say that, oh, well, they're 18 and the law says it's okay, baby, laws are created to protect people, okay? Good or bad, all right? So I would love for us culturally, we need to start calling this shit out. This age gap nonsense. We need to start calling this shit out and stop acting like it's totally normal when we see people, a 22-year-old dating a 32-year-old. Like, that's fucking normal. Like, that's just totally, we need to start side-eyeing and calling things out.